Hey, welcome to the Ky Cravens Show. This is episode 8. Thanks for tuning in today. Joined by Ian Whitt. Thanks for being here. We got a great show for you guys here today. Any number of things could happen and will happen. And we're just gonna kind of take it from the top. I feel like I've kind of achieved a lot. The book is doing really well. I have a manuscript here of the original copy of Grammar and Syntax in the 21st Century, and I feel like I can't really go anywhere else. I feel like this is kind of a prison for me, in a way. This show is kind of the last thing that could be good, but it'll never be as good as this book. So I don't really know what to do with my life now. And what's new with you?
How are you, Kyle?
I'm hanging in there. I was gonna read some of the book. My agent wanted me to promote it here on the show because he thought it could kind of put us over the edge in terms of getting on the, there's that Oprah show still, and they have the insurance as well. We have insurance. It's not very good, but we do have insurance here on the show, so we have to just kind of cover costs with the book. We've pretty much paid for the whole crew at this point. I know thank you guys for kind of hanging in there, Buzz and the rest. But yeah, the book I couldn't be happier with that, with the sales, and I wish I had a copy to give you. This is the manuscript. This is the original.
I don't need anything.
Okay. I'll have it shipped to you.
I'll go to Barnes & Noble.
You go to Barnes & Noble still?
I go to Barnes & Noble probably once a week.
Yeah. I find that there's not... It's odd. I feel like there's too much room in Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
And I don't like that there's a lack of organization. You can kind of get lost there.
Yes, two very important factors when considering going to Barnes & Noble.
Do you think that Barnes & Noble ever had or thought about utilizing the Dewey Decimal System?
I'm sure they considered it, yeah.
Because
it's a big corporation. Lots of smart people run it.
They're pretty much AWOL. They're pretty much winging it.
Oh, yeah.
There's I go in there and it's like Maze Runner,
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even jog these days.
No. How are you? How's your health?
My health's fine. I in this
if you
point...
can't jog, you're,
Well, I was kidding a little bit there for the bit, for the sake of the joke.
Okay.
But I just been kind of
pretty hard.
I've been drinking a lot, and just kind of I went down to Florida. I went down to the Everglades. I was looking for flamingos. I saw this Craigslist ad for this drive your own tour.
Oh yeah.
And there's no fucking flamingos.
You just drove around in the woods, probably.
Oh, I had a tour guide with me. His name was Marvin. I don't know why I thought maybe
I know Marvin.
Well, no, I thought maybe they brought flamingos in, or maybe they escaped from the zoo and started a habitat in the Everglades. But I was driving with Marvin. He was driving my car. It was drive your own tour, and he was like, I don't know, man. I don't know why you thought that there was going to be flamingos. We have alligators, and I'm like, I've literally seen alligators before so many times, and it's not even that interesting. I've had alligator burgers. Have you ever had that before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love alligator. You ever get one of those alligator heads that all the grandparents bought the grandkids all through the 90s? Where it's like a little alligator head.
How little?
Size of your hand. But they range in sizes. All different alligators have different
I
sizes.
remember those chompers.
Oh, yeah.
Remember you'd pull the
yeah, and it
the
grabs
stick?
onto things, yeah. I got that...
That's an alligator.
I got that on my... I was in kindergarten and I went to the zoo and my mother bought me one of those along with a Lunchable. I got to have a Lunchable on a picnic table. There's a picture of me from not kindergarten, even preschool, where my mother took me to the zoo. Oh, she didn't take me to the zoo. The preschool went to the zoo, and I don't really remember much of the trip, but I do remember the Lunchable. It was just a basic Lunchable, you know, the meat and cheese version, not a pizza or anything.
Well, that was
like
going to be my first question: is what kind of Lunchable is it?
Yeah, it was just the kind with probably ham, maybe turkey, and a little cheese and some crackers.
You have to question what exactly that meat was.
Well, at the time, a Lunchable, that was pretty fancy, actually.
Yeah.
In 1994, a Lunchable was considered quite the delicacy for preschoolers.
Right. I mean, I certainly remember trading, for like an extra Oreo out of the Lunchable, and they used to come with those little Reese's, like one dessert.
Correct. They would come with one piece of candy.
Yeah. Never enough.
But that was if you got like the expanded version.
I think
what I had was just the basic square one, not the rectangular one.
I don't think anyone on I'll say in the whole solar system was doing what I was doing with those nachos. I would dip half, flip it, dip to the salsa, dip to the cheese. I would take 2 each sandwich. I would have many, many, many different variations of dipping. I would sometimes put them on top and let them like just sit in the cheese. Did you find that
it was an appropriate number of chips for the sauces that it came
Well, they were
with?
very small, so your hands would always get so, flaky, dusty. You know, your fingers would turn into the goddamn Kansas Dust Bowl.
But when you're a kid, you kind of want that to happen.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I didn't enjoy every single bit of those nachos. That's probably my favorite Lunchable. But looking back on it, I just think, what was I so excited about?
I was team pepperoni pizza.
The pizzas, I've always kind of questioned.
Well, you can't think of them as pizzas. They're Lunchable pizzas are a completely different animal. I would microwave them as a kid.
Yeah, they're not really anything.
They're not anything. They taste strange.
Right.
Kids who would eat them cold,
It's kind of like if you...
Think of it like a bruschetta.
It's kind of like a mannequin. Like you can tell it's supposed to be a person, but it's not. Clearly not. Like you can tell, that's supposed to be a human.
Well, it's as if they... You know how when they run ads with food, they use substitutes for the food? Like they use butter instead of ice cream and things like that.
Sure.
It's like somebody was working in marketing and was working on those commercials and they were like, well, we have all this fake food, but we don't want to waste it. So let's package the fake food that we used for the ads and sell it to kids.
Yeah. Yeah. See, normally that kind of thing would make me smile and laugh, but I've just been so like, I've done it all. So let me finish my story. I went down to the Everglades and that was kind of unsatisfactory. So then I took it to, I'm not making this up. I did go to space. I had one of those tours, that they do like for really successful people. They have like these it's going to be like very commercial.
A spacewalk.
No, I didn't go out into space. I was in the shuttle, I got actually out there in the shuttle. I got the premium box, the premium cabin. So I had the biggest box, but I asked the captain, I said, is that bigger than your box? And he said, no, it's not. Mine's smaller, but mine has an extra pillow. And I said, oh, are you going to offer me an extra pillow? And he said, no, why would you think I was offering you an extra pillow? I was just saying that while yours is bigger in size, mine offers more comfortability options and I'm more comfortable at night. So I was like, okay. So yeah, I only had one pillow, but I had this big room and one pillow.
Do you need a pillow in space?
Yeah. something to hold because you're floating constantly, so you can't lay down.
But why
so
would it matter where the pillow was positioned?
No, you can only hug it, but it would be nice to have a couple because what you could do is they have these beds that are like slits in the side of the shuttle. So that way when you float, you hit the top of the slit, so you can kind of like float between the two. It's like in the wall, right? So unless you like float out of the slit, you're still going to be kind of going bumping back and forth on these. It's like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can put a pillow up here and a pillow down here. You can tape them, or they have like plenty of tape. But I was excited to. I was kind of sold on the idea of like this could be the first time we have aliens, like we see aliens, and there were none. He said that's not. I don't know why. He said that's not. Why would you expect there to be aliens? And I said, well, any day now, right? And he said no. I mean, he said we did find aliens, and I said what? And I said what do you mean? And I was like, did they meep? Did they moop? And he's like, no, you stupid idiot. They were germs. They were so small we had to break out the microscope, and that's what we do. We sent the guy out on the rope. He took a swab off an asteroid, and we took out the microscope. They don't meep. They don't moop. That's stupid. And I was like, oh, I thought they'd be like green and like like musically gifted.
Yes.
But no.
So how were you observing the outside? Were there windows?
Yeah. They were stained glass. Or like tinted, like black tinted.
Yeah. Are you sure that you went to space?
I don't know. Yeah,
because
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not...
It's pretty hard to miss that.
Well, I mean, LCD screens are very convincing at times.
That's true.
You have to get very close to see the pixels.
Have you seen that one movie that's made by like John Lennon? Like the Beatles funded it?
I don't watch movies anymore.
Oh.
But
Okay.
was it space propaganda? Trying to convince us
It was like
there?
they were on a bus, but they weren't going anywhere. It was all in a warehouse.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And the windows were all...
Yes.
Yeah. Can I read a little bit of this and then we'll get into the show?
Read the whole thing.
Okay. So this is an excerpt from Grammar and Syntax in the 21st Century. Essentially, where any books are sold, you can pick this up today. I'm very happy with the turnout that we've had on it. So I expect, this to only boost what is already a very strong sale. I'll read a little bit of it here. So this is on the chapter of punctuation. Those seemingly insignificant marks dancing upon the blank canvas of words holds within its delicate embrace the power to shape meaning, orchestrate rhythm, and breathe life into the symphony of language, revealing the true cadence and intention of our thoughts. So that's from punctuation. And then we have a chapter here on grammar in general. This is sort of the preface to the entire novella. Grammar, like the intricate framework of a grand cathedral, bestows upon language the structural pillars and intricate details that guide its construction, lending clarity, coherence, and precision. I said the word precision wrong. To our words. And then one final excerpt I wanted to read here from the, it's like the double album of chapters. It's like 2 chapters in one about commas. Ah, the humble comma, a celestial dancer in the cosmic ballet of punctuation, gracefully pausing, twirling, and bridging the gaps between words, allowing thoughts to intertwine and pirouette, adding a harmonious lift to the symphony of sentences. So this is not the cover of the book. It has basically just font on it, and check it out. It's really good. Good for I see a lot of like professors starting to pick it up and work it into their curriculums, which is kind of the intention behind it. That's really what the agent kind of thought. My agent kind of thought was like the gold mine behind it, but.
I don't
know. I'm just down. It's just like, is this really what I want to be?
Use are probably the best part of it. I noticed that a lot of things twirl.
Yeah, I mean, when I read a page,
Mm-hmm.
it is sort of a dance
Mm-hmm.
for my eyes. It is sort of a pleasurable, almost like a woman bending
It
over.
sounds like dyslexia.
Now you sound like my second grade teacher. But
Who is she?
hold on, I'm getting my phone is vibrating. Can I take this real fast? I was expecting a call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. No, go ahead. It's fine. Yeah, we're doing the show. No, you can just go ahead. What is it? Just go. Really? Really? No way. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can do that. When? Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it more later. Yeah, just email me the like the outline for it. Okay. All right, bye. That was my agent. So they want to do the publishing company wants to do a second book.
And your second grade teacher?
Yeah, my second grade teacher thought I had dyslexia. Well, I that just really kind of brought me back to earth. Holy cow! So
Yeah.
there's going to be a second one. So there is more. There's like purpose. I have purpose again.
Who was your second grade teacher?
Mrs. Kornkowski.
Polish.
Oh yeah, true. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if it like, she might as well have had fucking blood sausages coming down off the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
She was that Polish. She was singing songs and like, just, very downtrodden.
And she believed that you had dyslexia.
Yeah. You ever get like those people that are clearly, first generation Americans are like just off of kind of just their parents had just come over. And
We call them off the boat.
well, they're very bitter, but it's like you made it. Those should be the least bitter people.
Well, the problem is we live in a country where the poor can work their way up and become rich and there's freedom. So if you don't succeed, you're the problem. It's your fault. It's not the system.
Well, there's just no reason for Mrs. Kornkowski, who taught second grade in Chicago, Illinois, to be bitter and spiteful and, complain. She would always be complaining about like the Warsaw Pact and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm in second grade. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. She was mostly there for English and, language. She was not our history teacher. Mm-hmm. But second grade, I only had 2 teachers in second grade.
What made her think you were dyslexic?
The way I would describe words and the way I would read.
That like they twirl around and dance right off the page.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about this. Whatever.
You're right. I don't want to spoil the rest of the book.
Whatever obstacles were there, I, for one, overcame them. 2, numero 2, the book is a huge hit. Okay, so I don't know if I can read very well, but I can write the hell.
I
out
only
of
wish
what
that you
people are
talked
reading.
about her in the foreword to the book.
Well, now there's going to be a second one, Mr. Whitt, and maybe you can be a part of it. Maybe this is my chance to do everything right.
I don't believe in grammar.
Okay, well then you're not going to be in the book. I don't even know why I'd even consider you.
Grammar is just
I was under the
clearly
impression that here's the thing. I was under the impression that I
imperialist
owed you one for not.
Imposition on top of language, which ought to be free. People ought to be able to express themselves locally or with the colloquialisms that are ingrained in their local cultures, families, and things.
Well, time and time again, people look for and subscribe to the rules. They want to know the rules because if you master the rules, then you can know freedom. If you want to know freedom, contemplate a little bit about limitation.
So, master the rules equals no freedom.
No, master the rules to be free.
Yeah, to know freedom.
Yes.
So, master the rules equals no freedom.
No. You will be free if you can master the. It's like they say, you know,
like to understand.
Yeah, you have to know the fundamentals before you can be a master, and then you can adjust it. Then before you know what it is, So many people come in and they think, oh, I can just do this myself. I can just do it the way I want to do it. I can change this, 5,000-year-old tradition because I had this idea. I'm 19 years old. Look at me. I'm hopping around on my dick, like a pogo stick, right? No. Learn it first and then show me your dick.
Yeah, exactly. Master the rules equals no freedom.
Yes. I didn't really know the way you were. I think the way you're saying it is right. You're just being a hard ass for hard ass's sake. I could literally use your ass to give somebody a concussion.
So if you would like no freedom, read the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? I'm tired of getting mad at you. This really boosted my mood. I don't know if you could tell. And I'm tired of being mad at you. I just want to have a friendly conversation at this point because the books are doing well. So I don't need to get on. I don't need to grill your gears or grind your gear. I don't need you to clean my grill. Okay, I am already a huge hit, and they want a second one. And you know what they say about sequels? That's how you know that you've really had something good on your hands.
Yeah, if
that's
you get
the
a
proof.
Sequel, you know that the thing before that warranted a sequel.
Look at Toy Story
okay?
2. Look at Empire Strike Back. Look at that Empire Strike Back.
Yeah.
Now I can focus on something new. Not just this bullshit show. I thought this was going to be the end of the line for me. I thought this was just it forever. Just us talking about empires striking back.
It could be.
Not anymore. We have a whole other book to write.
How do you know?
Did you not... Were you not here 5 minutes ago?
Just keep the cameras rolling while you write the other book.
No, that would be a breach of trust.
To who?
To everyone. Nobody wants to... First of all, I'm not Truman. Okay? Newsflash.
Yeah, you are anything but Harry S. Truman.
No, I'm not Carrie, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you are nothing if you're not Harry Carey.
Right. No, I'm talking about I'm not Jimmy Carey.
Yeah, you're anything if you're not James L. Jones Carey.
Right. What movie is this from, Ready? Talking to me?
Boss Baby.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, how about that guy? How about Bobby D having a kid at like 89 years old?
Yeah.
How could he wholeheartedly, look at his his mistress or whoever, his wife that's 45 years younger than him and say, yeah, if this kid is, in sixth grade, if I do math, I'll be 105. Yeah, have the kid. Fine. And the kid comes out. The kid's looking at him. What's going on?
What does he care? He's got piles of money.
I've been hearing things.
Just
what movie is that?
send the money where
I heard things. What kind of things? Things. Well, what do you mean? I heard some things. What movie is that? You don't know your cinema. These are the masterworks,
The
too.
Telephone Game.
That's a movie?
I think so.
The Telephone Game's a movie?
I think so, yeah.
That didn't get a sequel. What happens in the Telephone Game? Let me guess. They sit in a circle.
Talking on the telephone. It's a bunch of girls talking about...
And then the whole time you're thinking, what's it going to be? They tell you, it's like a silent movie. They tell you what it is at the top of the movie. So it's like that black and white, like, the ostrich went left. And then the movie starts. And you just see it, and it goes through 90 people, right?
Yeah.
A person a minute.
And by the end, it's, let them eat cake.
Yeah, by the end, it's, yeah. Yeah, by the end, it's like, stop the movie. Ooh, by the end, it's stop the movie. And then you're like...
Yeah.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah, and then...
That's powerful.
Yeah, and then there's a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you call it The Ostrich Went Left?
No. No, I wouldn't. How does that correlate to the telephone game?
Because it starts with them saying the ostrich went left.
No, it would be a different line in the sequel. It'd be the same line in the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd be like, what is it going to be now?
And it goes the exact same way every time.
Stop the movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
And the crowd goes wild, yeah.
Do you think that, when they do a standing ovation for a film, that is genuine at all?
When's the last time you saw a standing ovation?
You hear about these standing ovations at Canis, or whatever.
Canis?
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Canis is, it's exactly what you think it is.
Over there at Canis, you hear about people standing up for 9-minute ovations.
Well, there, everyone is standing because they want to be seen.
Mm-hmm. They want to be part of the 9-minute ovation.
Yeah, it's an interesting... Standing ovations are an interesting environment to observe social anxiety.
Sure.
Because it's not a natural thing to do. Unless you're literally, like, see something that you're just so grateful was made.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the obligatory standing O is, like, nobody... Who wants to do it?
I don't know.
Who wants to do it?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the last thing that I want to do when I just sat through a slog...
And you've already been clapping, right? By the time the standing O comes, like, a standing O needs to be a one shot, you stand and clap.
When is it enough?
And here's the deal. If you do a standing O, you don't wait until the person that you liked comes out to stand. That's rude. Mm-hmm. That's petty.
Yeah.
You don't... Like, the people who are just like that... and then their friend comes out, and suddenly they're like... Ah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you just did to those other people?
It was like, hello, 2 people ago, it was fucking Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And you just didn't stand up for him.
I'm like, honestly, if people can't applaud responsibly, no more of the slow one person comes at a time. It's like, clap and get out of there.
Well, when did it not be... I wonder at what point in human history, maybe you know about this, when did it not become enough for just people to be like, that was good, and leave? Like, first of all, that was good, and leave. I'm cool with that. And then people started clapping, right? And when people were like, I'll give them a little clap. And then they got to fucking stand. Mm-hmm. And then they got to stand and clap. And then they got to start hucking shit up on the stage. And it's like now these young actors... these thespians, they expect these things, and then when they don't get that stuff, you should be happy with, like, dude, that was good. And like,
now, you know what they do now?
I don't even have to clap.
You know what they're doing now?
I paid you.
The post-bow dance party.
What?
Everyone has bowed, everyone has clapped, and then they're going to sing another song.
I hate that, dude. You're so right.
To dance
to. My God, I hate that. For what? And why? And every time I hate it. It's never been good. So most of the time it's a reprieve. It's like a reprisal of something that came before, and it's like so awkward because it's like, fucking close the curtain.
You know what I
Get
love about
out of my
it, though?
face. I hate it.
I love the post bow dance party.
It's like I have to go to the bathroom.
Here's the thing, you can go, and do you know why you can go? Because all the other idiots are in the dance party.
Right, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Party. You can go out and get a cab.
Let me tell you what I was raised with. My grandma, we would skip most of the climaxes of the theater she took us to because she was that ready to go.
Yeah, like you'd be just about to find out.
I'm not even.
You're just about to find out who Luke Skywalker's father is. Like he just cut his arm off, and your grandma's like, "Let's go."
I'm talking about Broadway, but
yeah, like Frodo and Gollum are wrestling in Mount Doom, and your grandma's like, "Let's go."
No, seriously, the equivalent of that, but Broadway, yes.
Yeah,
like I would not see the resolution to any of these stories.
Yeah.
From ages, 6 to 15.
You still don't know.
No, I don't.
You still don't know who the ghost is at the end of Nicole Kidman's Ghost.
I still don't know if they caught him and who was even chasing him.
Yeah. You still don't know what the deal with Sixth Sense is.
No. I still don't know who the fucking Lion King even is. Who is that referring to?
Well, who is the king at the end?
Mufasa?
You assume it's still Scar.
I don't know.
Because Scar's in a pretty good position.
I didn't really like him. He didn't seem that nice.
Well,
So I'm like, is this what this is named after? I don't know. Don't tell me. I'll see it again.
The Lion King?
I still don't really know what was so wicked about it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fine. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I
like,
still don't
do
know.
the Muppets ever get to Hollywood?
Yeah, I still don't know. I still don't know who the Rockettes are.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know. I don't know if Scrooge wakes up. Or I don't know if he was always awake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People are talking about like, oh, he threw a turkey out the window. I didn't see that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why is that the ending?
That famous scene at the end where he chucks a turkey out the window.
A full butterball.
Yeah, well, because he's
hits
so...
the kid in the head. Ooh.
Yeah, because he realizes that he needs to get rid of all of his material possessions, and he just starts chucking everything out the window.
I don't want... I'm gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
Yeah. Yeah, and that little boy from that...
Turned into... That was
Hillary
Scrooge.
Rodham Clinton.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Never took the turkey off.
No. So, yeah, I mean, what is your perspective, going back to the Bobby D thing?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a kid past 40?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Would you have a kid past 50?
Yeah. I'm not going to kill them just because they turned 50.
Okay. Well, Jesus. I'm saying plan on having a kid. I'm not saying like
I have
they
a kid
bring the
and then-
kid out and they're like, oh, you want to keep it?
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know how that would go. They probably have like a shredder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, like, if they're like, all right, the kid's 50 now,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Yeah.
kind of past their prime, do you still want to have this kid?
Right.
I'm talking about, like, late-term abortions.
That's really late. If they're out of the womb.
That's what they want.
Well, that's like
they want late-term abortions. It's, you know what late-term abortion means? It means no matter how old you are, your parents can always decide to kill you.
right.
Because you're just a bundle of cells to them.
I mean, frankly, you can't argue with that.
Honestly?
When people start talking cells, you can't argue with that. What is your rebuttal? Like it's all fun and games. I feel like I'm in a conversation. I feel like I'm in an argument. I feel like it's a battle. It's a back and forth.
Right now?
I'm a raging bull, right? And then they start talking about cells. You can only go so small, because string theory is not proven yet. So you can't confidently like bring that to the table. You can't be like, oh, what about this? Well, we're not. You eat that cell.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
How old would you have a kid?
I would probably go. I'm gonna call it 50 because I'm confident that I'm gonna live to be 100.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Why do you have to live so long in your kid's life?
Well, I don't want to always be a parent.
Why would you have to be a parent?
Well, just because I have a kid, I don't want that to be my whole identity for the rest of my life.
Yeah, why would you have to?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna have a kid at 60
Why not?
because I'm cutting it at 50 so I can enjoy my later years without worrying about raising a child.
You don't have to raise it.
No, I'll raise it. I'm not gonna be a complete.
Well, you could
Animal.
You could raise some of them. You don't have to raise all of them.
No, I'm not some kind of freaking praying mantis that just eats his wife or something.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't want to eat your wife because your wife's gonna be busy raising the kids that you're not raising.
I know, but why are you so gun ho about? Do I look like someone who wouldn't raise children? Is that what
I
you're
just
saying?
mean to say, why deny the opportunity for human life just because you can't raise it? As if there aren't plenty of people out there who wouldn't love to raise your child.
You misunderstand. I can't. I don't want to after a certain age. I don't want to.
Great, and then
You ever think about that?
So just because you don't want to raise more doesn't mean you can't have more.
No, I didn't say I could. Yeah, I could.
Yeah. So
You asked me, would you want to raise a kid after?
No. Have a kid. What's the latest you would be willing to have a kid that you couldn't
I mean,
raise?
I'd have if you're going off of that
Yeah.
sort of quandary, I'd go. 90. At that point, who cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not responsible for this life at all.
the truth is, the only reason why you even think that you're responsible is a social convention.
That's true. That's true. It's very expensive to have a kid.
And not all men raise their kids, and that's
Well-
their choice.
You're advocating for that?
I'm saying that I don't have the right to
I-
force you to raise
I
your
feel like
kid.
people are going to think like I put you in that weird position to defend it, but you went ahead and defended that.
Look,
You went ahead and just ran
I'm just
to
saying,
that side of the room and turned around.
it's not my responsibility to impose my parental values onto how you raise or don't raise your own children. You made them.
I know.
You get to decide.
Okay, but
if they.
so I just told you what I thought, and then you said no. I just told you what I would want to do as a parent. You said no. Well, wouldn't you not want to? Wouldn't you just have the kid anyway? Just have the kid. Have the
and you
kid.
said that you would up to age 90, I guess.
No, by that logic, but I wouldn't want to do that. is
Why
what I'm saying.
not?
Because that's not right.
Says
In
who?
my book. Says me. And you just said, I'm not going to be the one to tell people who's right and wrong and what's up and what's down. I'm telling you, that's up, that's down to me.
I think that your attitude might change when you're older, because you're going to realize that it's truly different strokes for different folks. And look, you might impregnate some woman when you're 104, and that kid might grow up to cure cancer, even though you had nothing to do with how they were raised. And who are you to deny the world?
Okay, well, first of all, if you really want to get into that muck, into that nitty gritty that you're starting to get into, I don't know why you want to take this conversation this way. Feel free to just, take the exit ramp on this whenever you want. But there are way too many people. Okay, I'm in that camp. I'm over here.
Because there's also a lot
I'm
of people...
over here in that. I'm over. What's going on at this camp?
There's a lot of people that say that there aren't. And that we're actually...
Tell me about my
we don't
camp.
have enough people.
If I think that, what else am I? What else is going
If you
on
think
over here
there's
at
too
this
many
camp?
people...
Yeah, right.
I've met some people who had a strong conviction that you have, which is that there's too many people. I had this girl, a close friend of mine, used to come over all the time. She's from New York City, grew up here. Very...
New York City girl?
Yeah, she's a New York City girl.
Ooh.
And, but Brooklyn. And,
Even better. Wow.
she's a singer, songwriter, tattoo artist, actress.
I'm hard.
She does everything, and she works. She works with special needs kids. She works with old folks.
All right, we
she's
get
a
it. You
caretaker.
sucked her dick. Jesus.
She's great, and she's like, honestly, and she lives in this beautiful Victorian house.
All right.
That's like from the 1870s.
Is her name Mother Teresa? Let's go.
And she said she's in this beautiful house, and she's like,
Why is she in this beautiful house? Wait, back up.
that's where she lives. That's where she's grown up. That's where she was raised.
Okay, I
She says
already I don't. I mean,
She says to me that
I hate these people born in manners.
She says to me, there are too many people.
Okay, she said that.
And she says, I would burn this house to the ground before I brought a child into this world.
But
Right?
I thought she was Mother Teresa. I thought she was.
Because she doesn't want to bring any more kids into the world.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
Then
I think personally, most people have a moral obligation to not have kids these days.
that's what she believed.
It's a very different problem. It's the first time in human history that we've been faced with this problem. Because normally the issue of humans is we have to multiply.
Then
We have to.
a few months later, she talked to me about, offhandedly mentioned that she had been donating her eggs. Not donating, selling her eggs.
For how much?
I don't
is
know
my
how much
first
they
question.
get. I would imagine $50 an egg or something. Maybe more.
That's it?
Maybe more.
That's all eggs go for? I guess women.
It depends on your level of education and everything.
Oh.
It depends on your race, your level of education, how you look.
Well, that's not right.
Why?
Well, because my abandoned.
Wouldn't you want an Ivy League baby?
No, but you just said my kid that I abandoned and didn't even. I was 89 when I had it and died when it was 6. That grew up to be a Nobel Prize winner and didn't have a father in his life and didn't have it had my genes, right?
My guess is not having a father.
And my genes are
he'll
ripped.
get better scholarships because you're dead.
That's your dude. You're defending that right now. Are you serious right now? It doesn't matter if somebody gets a. That's okay. Now you're getting into that muck. You're getting into now nature versus nurture whole thing. That's a okay. One thing at a time. Let's stay.
So she believes that it is immoral to have children.
You're going all over the map.
And she's selling her eggs.
Okay, so that is what we call a paradox. And it's a contradiction at once. That it's a riddle wrapped in an enigma. So why? Did you talk to her about this? Did you confront her about this?
She wanted to make money and she didn't care if it went against her convictions.
Okay, so it comes down to money. So this is a very human, selfish, greed, 7 deadly sins moment for her, and she should feel like she sold her soul to the fat pig that lives in.
Or maybe her convictions aren't as deeply held as she once thought.
Maybe. You won't see me selling my fucking eggs. I'll lay on that egg like a mother goose until it cracks.
And you are just packed with eggs. I can see you in your stomach right now. Like if I took a machete and I just gutted you, it would just be
it'd be like
spilling a bag of marbles onto the floor.
Oh yeah, those vase marbles, not marbles that you play with. Those marbles that just sit in a vase. Mm-hmm. Those marbles would spill everywhere. Those are the worst kind to spill because you have nothing. You have your whole day's ruined.
Yeah.
When that vase tips over, you better run for the hills because that's your afternoon. Clean up those marbles, and then you sleep at night. You think, did I miss one?
And then the dog eats it, and then the dog
dies.
The dog doesn't die, but it is a whole trip to the vet, and it's very annoying. And then the vet does tell you, listen, we found the marble. We can save it if you want.
Right.
You tell us what you want to do. And you pause for a moment, and you consider, do I just want to let this go?
Yeah, everyone's been there.
Do I really want to have a dog still? Because this is my lease on life. If I want to be able to go out and not come back home to walk it, this is it.
The problem is most people, when they have their dog, that's their entire identity. They have a dog. That's them.
Yeah.
They're always walking with it. That it controls them. They're cleaning up its shit. I mean, when did that start? Are you kidding me right now?
Well, dogs used to be useful.
People walking around picking up poo. That's like 90% of your day.
Just out of boredom. Just because they...
No, they don't even think about it. They don't even think about what they're doing. It takes me, the social observer, walking by without the dog, right, to see, oh yeah, the dog's walking you.
Sometimes they literally are carrying the dog through the street.
Yeah.
With a sweater on.
Which, listen, I
because
love
they
dogs.
have a chihuahua.
It's not the dog's
Manhattan.
fault. I'm not blaming the dogs. They whatever happened, the way history went, they won. They got the greatest deal ever. I mean, I can't speak on those.
Not New York dogs. Well, I would not want to be a New York dog.
No, you wouldn't. If you had the choice, you wouldn't want to be. No.
Where I come from,
you could maybe vouch for those Upper East Side, Upper West Side dogs that get to,
Where I come from, you open the back door and let the dog out. And then maybe he'll come back at the end of the day. Maybe he'll come back in a couple of days.
That's the way it's supposed to be, I think. Fence or electric fence, whatever.
Maybe an electric fence, but like where I'm from, there aren't neighbors to complain about whatever. The dog is going to go out and poop, and then when you go out and play capture the flag or steal the bacon or whatever, you're probably going to step in some dog poop.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're from Bufu, fucking Indianapolis or something. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Bufu, Indianapolis. It's a suburb of Indianapolis.
Or you're from like north of Minneapolis somehow.
Yeah, Bufu. It was settled by...
Yeah.
You remember... You know the story of who settled it, Bufu?
Yeah, I do.
And how it got that name.
I don't make passing references. I don't know who you think I am.
Yeah.
Everything that I refer to, I know.
Tell me everything you know about Bufu.
Well, I know that, first of all, what you said about everything's adding up because you're definitely from there. Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all,
well, I want to know if the things that you think about Bufu are true.
Okay, I've been to Bufu, and here's what's in Bufu.
Yeah, what's in Bufu?
They got one McDonald's. Okay.
That's true.
They got one Burger King.
And it's like those little tiny McDonald's from like the 80s, where it's like a slant. It's almost like an A-frame. It's like half of an A-frame.
What? What's an A-frame?
Those houses. You know those houses that are like just a triangle?
Okay.
It's
Like-
not. I didn't make this up.
Like the dwarves live in? What are you talking about?
Yeah, a little tiny house.
Okay.
Some people live in tiny houses.
Wow, I could never imagine.
Some people don't live in houses at all.
Wow. Oh, what would that be? An apartment? Is that what they call them?
Perhaps.
A townhouse?
Or not even.
Or a dumpster?
Yeah, some sleep on the street.
Wow.
Saw someone sleeping on the street today, just in fact.
You just love bringing that up. You love bringing up the
Homelessness?
the worst parts of people. Right? The worst parts of people. You just you chomping at the
What do you
bit.
mean it's the worst part?
Well,
There's nothing wrong with someone
anytime
just
we're
because
talking
they're
about
sleeping on the
something,
street.
anytime we're talking about something that's kind of like, fluffy and light, you just got to bring it right down.
Yeah,
You got to bring everything down.
yeah.
And why is that? Because of Bufu? Because of your upbringing in Bufu?
Dynamics.
Yeah,
It's important that in order to stay present, that we keep things fluctuating.
That's it. That's all you got for that?
Yeah.
It's important to bring any conversation I'm in down.
Well, like, look, if
because it's you got to because it's interesting.
Look, if I'm playing like a group role play game, and everyone's on one team together, I will split off and come back as an antagonist.
No, I hear you. Yeah, you were such a peach to play like capture the flag with
Me?
as a kid, dodgeball.
Very good, because I was little and I could fit into
Yeah,
places and hide very well.
right. I'm sure you could. Let me tell
We
you
play
this.
huge capture the flag games.
Let me shift it a little bit here.
Huge capture the flag games. Everyone in the whole town would come.
With an L? Capture the...
Flag.
Oh. Jeez, that's what you said.
Yeah. No, very gay friendly out in the boondocks.
That's good. They add the L. We didn't add the L. Where I'm from. So I'm going to change it a little bit here. We got... I saw this person's resume the other day. And it was laminated and it looked nice and everything, whatever. Fucking
A
laminated.
laminated resume
Yeah,
is not nice.
I was like, okay, dude.
Why? Because they're going to reuse it?
No, because they were in Staples. So you got, you know what I mean? Like, he printed it at Staples, so it's right there.
Oh, so they're an idiot.
It's convenient. Hello, whatever.
You know what else is convenient? Not laminated.
And this was some time ago when I remember seeing this, and I remember seeing that he had lawn mowing on his resume. And I'm like, it's the middle of fucking winter. Why? First of all, why is this on your resume? You laminated this. It wasn't the only thing there, right? But it was just listed in his experience.
Yeah, he should have put does his chores.
And I'm like, it is the middle of fucking winter right now.
And he didn't bother
There was
to put
nothing to cut. And you live in New York City.
Yeah.
How much does the city tell you to go to Central Park and have your way with the fucking, shrubs? No. They have professional, botanists and scientists that run that shit.
Yeah, like a more useful skill in New York City, being able to roll cigarettes.
I don't know anything else.
If you know how to roll your own cigarettes.
Well, my point being, there are some things that, like, I worked in a few, restaurant, fast food places. That's not on my resume.
What, Wendy's?
No, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh.
And a burrito, two burrito shops, not Chipotle, not any like the name brand. They were just like Midwestern burrito places. But Buffalo Wild Wings, I was a server at, yeah. Which was interesting. I saw a lot of miserable people.
You know what's funny? I like spicy wings, but I don't care for the buffalo flavor.
Well, I have a very strong opinion on Buffalo Wild Wings. It's one of those things where once you see how the sausage is made, you don't, it's not.
But that's restaurants in general.
That's everything. But, Buffalo Wild Wings, I think, takes that to the next notch. Because, there were people, Ian, there were people that would be falling out of the booths.
Do you ever get breakfast sandwiches?
Ian, they had this thing called, it was a cheese curd cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm. Is the whole cheeseburger made out of cheese curd?
No.
There is a burger on it.
There's two patties. So it's a double cheeseburger with cheese curds on it, and the bun is cheese in it.
I'm not nuts about cheese curds.
Okay. We had people falling out of the booths when they would order it, and I'd look at them and I'd see, oh yeah, you're over 500 pounds. I think this is it. I don't know. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because we had the hospital. Most people have the hospital on speed dial. Ambulance. Like, thank God that they were right on the same street as the Buffalo Wild Wings. I think that was intentional.
Well, I'm sure it's supply and demand. Like they see a Wild Wings and they build a hospital.
You can't eat with people being that way and being that disgusting and like falling out and just just disgust. And I would serve these people. I would have to agree that it's okay for you to order this, and then you're going to pay me.
And let's just be clear
to end your life.
Let's just be clear that the disgust you have is not due to them being overweight.
No. Well,
it's not just people who are overweight that you hate.
That's part of it.
Yeah, and you hate.
I do have a problem with overweight. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Is it because you don't like the way that they look?
No, there's people in my life that have been like, you're, what I don't even know the word for it. You're racist against overweight people.
Fat phobic.
Yeah, I'm fat phobic. And I'm saying, no, that's not really what it is, because...
It kind of is, though.
It's like...
Just because you have good reason doesn't make it not fat phobic.
Here's my thing. I am okay with fat people. I think they're fine. I might be a fat person one day. I don't know.
One day?
Yeah. I don't care.
Far away in the future.
Sure.
Not now.
When I have my 18th kid when I'm 90.
Yeah.
And so... you think about that, and then you think, that's not the issue I have. The issue I have is the encouragement of it. I was raised in a time of American history when, it's okay to be, treat yourself. It's okay to be fat.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Well, what about people...
Why are we...
What about people who want their partners to get fatter because it's like a thing?
That's fine.
But that's encouraging someone to get fat.
No, but that's because they want to be. I don't think anyone wants to be morbidly obese. But it's like, that's you. You do you. You're so brave.
There's somebody for everybody.
You're so brave? For what?
It takes a lot
for having no self-control?
You know what, Kyle?
What? You say Carl?
Kyle?
Yeah, what?
It takes a lot of guts. Exactly.
That's what you're waiting on?
Yeah.
Zing! You got him. There it is. We can end the show now. Cut the tape. No. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
So you like that movie I sent you?
Which one? The porn?
Yeah, the porn.
That one.
What was your favorite part?
It was good for like the first 20 minutes, and then it really fell off.
Well, because the first 20 minutes is the story.
Huh?
The first 20 minutes is the story. Like, the kid is like...
No,
he's like trying to do his like school paper. And his teacher comes over to tutor him. I didn't care much for
the story was whatever. I'm just saying I was into it for like 20 minutes, and then I kind of got tired.
Oh, you finished.
Nah.
Before the
You always got to deflate the jokes, I noticed.
Before the story
You always got to like
over.
tell the joke.
Before the story
Sometimes that stuff happens in people's minds. Are you looking at... What? Is there a spider?
Yeah, there's a spider.
What if?
Yeah, there's a spider. There's Charlotte's up there. And you're Wilbur.
And this would be you. Oh, Charlotte's Web. That's like, yeah, we know.
Oh, Charlotte's Web.
Your joke. It's like, hello, but...
and people think that I'm just, like, naming the obvious, and it's like, no, I'm figuring out what's going on.
No, you're like, no, I'm funny. And they're like, no, you're not.
I didn't say I was funny.
I know, but you're like, oh, I get the joke.
No, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I'm trying to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm.
And repeating something to clarify is useful in terms of establishing understanding between two people.
Well, here's what I want to say about that. You bring up something that is...
You being Ky Cravens.
There is something in very short supply in this day and age, okay?
Silence.
And that is the proper response to funny. Now, I am very funny because I've had enough people respond to me in a way that makes me think, oh, I am funny. I was just out in the city last night making people laugh. I wish people taped that because it was so good. I really enjoyed the show that I did. Improv show. Magnet Theater, UCB. UCB. But when I tell a joke or when I do something that is funny, what do I want you to do, Ian? What do I want you to do?
Me, Ian, or me, the general audience?
You,
member?
the general public.
Give you money.
No. I would just want you to laugh. Mm-hmm. And how rare is that now? Nobody does that. It's like they forgot that that's what you're supposed to do. Now, if you don't find it funny, don't laugh. And then do nothing else.
Yeah, you act as if laughing is universal.
No, the responses are all off. For one, if it's funny and you say that's funny,
are people not laughing?
I'm gonna snap your neck, okay? Because you don't say that's funny. If it was funny, what would you have done? You would have laughed.
Unless it's funny, but I don't find it funny.
It's a voluntary response. It's involuntary.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, no, don't fake it. Don't do any of this. But then,
how do you know?
Then if it's not funny, don't laugh and don't do anything else. Don't say, that's funny. Don't say, oh, that was good. Don't say, Just say nothing.
You know what's worse to me?
The fake praise.
At those shows, at those theaters that you're describing?
Yes.
People go and they're big fans of the show, right? Because some of these shows are quite popular.
This show?
The shows that they're going to see. And they'll be sitting in the audience, and the show has not started yet. People are just sitting, and people are just staring at the empty stage, laughing prematurely before the show has started.
Are you going to, Rikers Island and performing? Like, what the hell?
No, this is at the Magnet.
And
people will be like,
psychotic.
And
that's just psychotic.
No, it is two things. One, they're anticipating that the show is going to be funny because they saw a funny show there before and they think it's going to happen again, and they're prematurely laughing, just like Pavlovian response.
Right.
And two, they want to be noticed.
Okay.
So they laugh loudly and distinctly.
Yeah, that's okay. That's terrible. You bring up something. Oh, Ian. Wow. I hate the forced laughter. I hate the loud laughers that want to be the loudest in the room.
That's the comedy
They have to just laugh to laugh.
I went to a comedy show.
Do the people know that when you laugh, it's supposed to be involuntary?
I went to a comedy show.
I don't know if they know that.
Stand-up with a group of friends the other day. And I sat in front of everyone at a table, and I was the closest to the stage so everyone could see me. And I literally sat here the entire show, just staring.
Right. No, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you're supposed to help the people on stage.
I didn't
better.
laugh at all.
Good. No, I'm very hard with my laughs in those kind of settings. I laugh more with like my friends and everything, but when I don't just give laughs if I'm seeing a stand-up comedian or I'm seeing a comedian.
I did laugh at my friend a little bit, and I told him that he was the only one I laughed at.
Oh, so you shouldn't have said that.
He asked.
You shouldn't have said that.
Why?
Oh,
it's like a fact.
He's not going to... His response to that is supposed to be, oh, I have to make my jokes better. Or this is what worked, this isn't what worked.
Who says I want anyone to get better?
Refine this. He's going to think in his head, oh, Ian liked it. Okay, it's probably good. Now I'm just going to go be an average comedian for the rest of my life.
Great.
No, not great.
I don't want him to be.
I want people around me to be the best that they can be.
Sometimes the best that someone can be is mediocre.
I know. Well, but this is where natural selection just kind of takes its course. But we have so many people that are kind of like getting the wrong criticism and taking the wrong lessons from things and picking out the wrong, points.
I could teach perfectly, and people are still idiots.
Teach what?
Anything. If I want to craft the right way to respond to you and try to send you off into a trajectory to be your most successful self. That's just too many factors. I can't be held responsible for the trajectory of an individual's career.
I think a lot of people's response is just, let's make them feel good about themselves. Oh, that was great, Tommy. Dude, if it wasn't good, I like when people are just real with me.
To be
they're
clear,
like, hey, that wasn't that great.
To be clear, I want people to be happy with themselves, and I want to get away from them as fast as possible.
Well, see, that's the problem. This is you're kind of bringing up the problem.
Oh, it's actually my solution.
I think people would be closer together if they were more real about their critiques.
Oh, I don't want to be close with people.
Okay, well, you're an odd duck here. Once again, you're playing the black sheep.
Explain to me why the black sheep is bad.
Is bad?
Is bad. Yeah, we both. Yeah, you were a little more trigger happy there, but we both.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, why is the?
I'll zip back up.
Yeah, what's so bad about a black sheep?
The other ones are white.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made in probably 1400. This parable. This platitude. So you do the math.
Do you think that these are very evolutionary distinct animals?
No. No, they're as distinct as a Homo sapien.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they from similar regions?
I think they are.
Some from one continent, some from another continent?
Mm-hmm.
Like that distinct?
I think at some point they all kind of came from the same place.
Okay.
And spread out.
And then what caused them to change? Environmental factors?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And are there just the two
their
different...
exposure to certain elements?
Is it just white sheep and black sheep?
No.
There's...
Nope.
What other sheep are there?
I think there's... like brown sheep.
Mm.
And, like yellow-ish sheep.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a red sheep, but that wouldn't, like, surprise me.
Would a blue sheep surprise you?
No, you can't. No, there's no blue sheep.
Green sheep?
No, there's no green sheep. That doesn't make any sense.
Why? It makes sense. They would be able to blend in with the
There's no green
environment.
because there's no green people.
They could blend in with the environment better.
Because there's no green people, and I'm sticking to my argument that they have the same evolutionary tract as Homo sapiens.
Oh, they evolved together.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
You put me in a position where I have to say yes to that.
Is the Lord your shepherd?
No.
So you shall want.
I shall.
Yeah, you're gonna go stand up in blue pastures.
Mm-hmm. Would you want to be a shepherd?
No.
It's an interesting occupation that's never really...
Your job is to make sure that the sheep don't get out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always the shepherd that's so important too. You know? In a lot of those stories. It's always the shepherd. Why does he have to be a shepherd? Moses, right? Shepherd?
Moses is not a shepherd. Well, I guess he is later. He starts out as kind of an Egyptian aristocrat who...
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Because he leaves Egypt and then
he's trained in the occult
That's right,
in the Egyptian mystery schools.
That's right.
And so he understands a lot.
A la DreamWorks, The Prince of Egypt.
Probably one of the best films ever made.
Really? You stand by that?
Yeah, it's an excellent film.
Is that your favorite DreamWorks film?
What are my options? Chicken Run?
Yeah, that's there. You have Shrek and Shrek 2. Those are there.
Overwatched. We kind of overwatched those. Shrek came out when DVDs, millennials. Shrek was one of the first cartoons that came out when DVDs first got big. So like everyone got a Shrek DVD, and it had so many bonus features and things that people like didn't matter whose house you went to, you were gonna watch Shrek. What are you gonna do at school? Watch Shrek. But I went to the kind of school where let me put it this way, we had a weak administration and a strong teachers union, so we watched a lot of movies.
Wow.
We watched a lot of movies in school.
Okay. Well, you came right out with that.
Chicken Little. I don't even watch
Chicken Run, Chicken Little.
Yeah. We
Ants.
watched
There's Ants.
Wallace and Gromit. Ants.
Ants, of course.
Not A Bug's Life. Ants wasn't as popular in school. Mm-hmm. Most people liked A Bug's Life because it was a little more elegant.
Ants was a little bit more, for those, it was a little bit more dangerous. Had a little bit more of an edge to it.
It was edgy, it was gritty, it was dirty, it was filthy.
Not to mention the Ant Bully, which was another one.
Ant Bully, which never took off the way that Ants in A Bug's Life did.
No, that's like the third place.
Yeah, it definitely gets third place
Bronze.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, at the time, no matter what movie one company came out with, they all had to come up with a... Have you seen the animated Titanic film?
Yeah, I've heard. I have not sat through it. I do know what you're...
You've seen videos about it.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent.
I've seen it around.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, sure.
It's a real masterpiece.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you watch a lot of movies. I mean, I feel like you were stunted. They stunted your education by not educating you.
By not educating me, yeah. We would often watch movies. My Spanish teacher's philosophy was that we were learning by watching. And sometimes we would watch it in Spanish with English subtitles. Sometimes we would watch it in English with Spanish subtitles.
Okay.
Depending on what the DVD
Wow,
had
that's
available.
spicy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My Spanish teacher just mostly threw me out because I couldn't help myself. Because I would eat chips.
You would hear that Spanish language and you'd just be like, ah.
I would always eat in that class.
Yeah.
Because I would have the same joke every time. I would bring chips and salsa in and start just eating chips and salsa.
You would bring your chips and salsa.
And I was like, it's, you know.
Well, you would bring your throwback Lunchable in.
Yeah.
Your nacho Lunchable.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'd be fun because I already had eaten that for lunch. But no,
Yes.
I brought in the real chips and salsa.
Like Tostitos.
Yeah. And then the day that she like had the last straw when she sent me to the principal's office, I had like one of those like guacamole carts that you kind of like, you know, you make your own at the table, nice and fresh.
Yeah.
I was doing that. This had to be like 7th grade.
Not a fan of Sabra's guacamole.
Well, why are you eating that?
That's nasty.
Why are you eating that stuff?
I had like 10 years
If
ago.
you look at guacamole in the store and it says expires and it's over 2 weeks from that point, why are you eating that? Guacamole goes bad in a few days, let alone a few weeks. Like
in a few,
Sabra's is gonna be like, expires.
Guacamole goes bad in a few hours.
Yeah, but bad. Oh, Sabra's guacamole. Let's take a look here. Oh, bad. 2020.
Bad all the time.
2025. Eat by 2025. All right, I got. All right.
It makes you second guess Sabra's hummus.
Like, what is even in it then? What did they do to the guac? What did they do to the avocados?
They just the whole thing is just washed with acid. You think I'm joking?
Yeah, it's like tie dye.
No, it's like you look at you'll see citric acid just.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That can't be good.
Nothing can grow.
Right.
It's like Hannibal salting, or no, it's like Rome salting Carthage after they defeated Hannibal.
It's a good reference.
Yeah.
You saved that one in the back pocket.
Oh, Hannibal is very close to my heart.
Hannibal.
Yeah.
The guy with the war elephants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about him.
Many people know about him. What was his? He marched to Constantinople.
He marched all the way up Spain, across the Alps, and down through Rome's countryside to the city of Rome.
Oh, okay, to Rome.
That's why, and Hannibal was at the gates. Hannibal was at the gates of Rome.
Right.
And then Rome
He
was
didn't-
like, we're just not going to do anything.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, the siege went on for a long time. It was the Second Punic War. His father had fought in the First Punic War. Hamilcar was the name of Hannibal's father. And by they were just too tired. Like, it was not that smart of an idea to bring the elephants over. Most of the elephants died in the mountains.
I don't know why he thought mountains and elephants would go together. You know, that's a real peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, it was not smart. It pretty much killed Carthage.
Carthage, yeah,
As a
Carthage,
world power that could compete with Rome, and pretty much set Rome to control the Mediterranean for the next 500 years.
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would you take?
If like this is it, this is the moment. Pick it now. So I need to think for a moment, because you don't want to ask for something that becomes a curse. Probably 6-pack abs.
That's
that you never have to work for.
Okay.
Because I want something that's just normal enough that it's not really going to change my whole life, but it's just like going to make my life like go from a D to a D+.
That's okay. I think you picked the perfect thing if that was your goal.
Yeah, like 6-pack abs, but you never have to do a sit-up.
Right. Yeah. Mine would be cold.
Maybe to be an inch taller.
Okay. Mine would be Cold War era Russia.
You want to control it?
No, that's what I would.
You want to be there?
That's what I would take. I asked you what superpower would you want.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for us here on the Ky Cravens Show for this episode.
Do you want to like be Gorbachev?
You have a lot of questions. I'm gonna answer all of his questions. You know, off the
in the bonus show.
In the bonus show, we're gonna do some improv here for the bonus show. There is, I mean, I'm not even kidding, folks. There is hours of content waiting for you on the Patreon. It's a very low price still. So please go follow that link to the Patreon and just hit that subscribe, and then you'll get these episodes every week. You know, you get notifications on that, and then you'll get hours of bonus content every week. We add bonus episodes
Just think
on
about
top of the main.
just think about how good you're gonna feel once you've finished subscribing. Like right now, there's this like anxiety, this like mental illness that's like brewing up in your gut, telling you that like you're not enough, and just think about how much better you'll feel after you've set up automatic payments.
This is what people talk about, the bitches brew.
And
This
then
is what
just
they mean.
forget about it.
Right.
Forget about the whole thing. And, you know, maybe even go up a tier. Go up a tier because you'll feel that much more positive about yourself. You're going to walk down the street. Beautiful women will be checking you out. Oof. And your boss is going to be like, you're doing something different.
Yeah.
What is it that you're doing? And
No, your boss can be like, there's something different with you, and he's going to go like this.
Yeah.
That's what your boss is going to do.
And until then, you're probably not going to feel very well. You're going to feel sick to your stomach.
You got the sickies.
You're going to feel like something's wrong. Something's not right.
Right.
You don't understand
You're going to feel a clump like right here.
You won't be able to
In
concentrate.
the very back of your neck, like almost at the top of your spinal cord.
People are going to be like, what's wrong with you?
This weight's going to and it's going to make you kind of hunchy. You
Yeah.
know? And that's ugly.
And it's ugly, and you're going to be ugly until you finally get to hit that subscribe button.
Oh, yeah.
And just bump it up a tier, bump it up a tier.
Oh, yeah. Bump it up a tier. Bump it up a tier. All right. Beautiful. And that's going to do it for us today. But we'll see you guys on the Patreon. And till next week, please